Okay, so welcome back to another video, and this video is actually going to be a tutorial video. So I'm going to do a tutorial video for like 90s, so from like beginner to pro. So I'll just show off the very basics of 90s. So what 90s actually are they look like this, and they're actually like the fastest way to get high ground, and high ground is actually like really important. It's not been as important anymore, but it still is really important. So look here. So if I'm on low ground and this guy's on high ground, I don't really have a good angle on him. But look, so I'm completely open right now. And that guy, so let me just go right back up to him. So look here. So if I go up here, only my head is peeking. And that guy, his entire body is peeking, so it is, plus it's a lot easier to get headshots, and headshots deal more damage, so high ground's just a really important thing. So I'll teach you guys how to do the most basic 90s. So what you want to do is you want to place a ramp out. You want to place a wall like this, a floor, and a ramp, and then just keep doing it like 3 times. But there's also another, like an easier version, so you do the same thing with the walls, but you just don't place a floor. So it's just like the same motion, and it is like really fast. But one thing that you want to try to avoid doing when you're doing 90s is, look here, so you could do this, where you get like blocked before the ramp. People call it Harry Pottering themselves. So you want to avoid doing that. And then also, like when you're doing 90s, there's this where you accidentally place the floor above you. So just like, if you don't do a floor, then you don't have that problem. But the problem with only doing a ramp is you get Harry Pottered a lot more. So I don't know. If I would start off doing like these 90s without the floor, and then I'd just get, like, after you think you've mastered those 90s, then I would recommend doing the standard 90s. So there's also different 90s that you can do. So there's the basic 90s that I showed you guys. I was like this. Sorry, I'm not too good at doing them. But so there are those 90s. But then also, you can also do the 90s to the left if you wanted, like this. It's kind of whatever you prefer. Then also, so this is a standard 90s. So it's like this. I showed you before where you place like the floor down. So if you do it like quickly, it would look like this. So this is like a really good way to get high ground. I do that a lot. But there's different types of 90s. Like if you don't really like doing those 90s, there's also these 90s. I'm not going to recommend them. They're mostly just to show off, but these are called the Mongrel 90s. Like this. I wouldn't recommend trying to do them, but if you really wanted to, you can master them if you want. This is the Mongrel 90s, and then Mitra 90s. So these ones I like a lot. So it's the exact same as normal 90s, except for you're not placing the wall. But what's good about this, so look, you're not placing this wall over here. What's good about this is, look, so when I'm doing normal 90s, I keep banging against the wall, and it actually stops all my momentum. So you want to stay more in the middle when you're doing these 90s, but when you do Mitra 90s, there is no wall, so it's a lot easier. The only problem with Mitra 90s, which are these ones, is it's a lot easier to Harry Potter yourself like this. Okay, actually, let me try. Yeah, like this. It's a lot easier to do this, but once you master them, I would recommend mastering Mitra 90s. So I remember there was one other type of 90, but I don't really know what it is. But let me show you another way to do 90s. So you can do 90s without jumping, actually, if you wanted to. So I don't know. It's kind of whatever you prefer. I prefer jumping, but you can do them without jumping like this. So then there's also the infinite 90s. This is going to be like the last one. So infinite 90s is where you just keep on doing it. Like this. Now they're actually really hard to master, but the way I do it is I actually do them like this. So I do my normal 90s, but then I also like I don't know what I would call this, but this is how I do my infinite 90s. You guys can just like put the video on slow-mo to see how, but I don't really know if someone else has came up with that idea or not. I haven't seen anyone else do it. I just made it up. But anyway, so I think that's gonna be about it for the 90s. But let me just like quickly show you guys what all the 90s look like when I'm doing them in normal speed. So here are the basic 90s. Here are the standard 90s, or the normal. Okay, this is what the mongrel 90s look like. Here are the Mitra 90s. And then the infinite 90s. But something I do recommend is trying to practice them like the 90s in creative. So just pick a 90 that you want to master and then try practicing them. If you're like really new to the game, try practicing and mastering the first type of 90s I showed you without the floor. And then later on when you think that you've mastered those 90s, then like maybe move on to something more advanced, like the mongrel 90s, or like whatever 90s you want to do. So also, a good way to practice 90s is when running friends and like people. So the way you can do that is, so the way you set up like a 1v1, which means like 1 versus 1. So pretty much you're going to be fighting against your friend in like a build battle, right? So the way you set it up is place 2 ramps like opposite from each other, and then place a wall in the middle. And then what you want to do is edit the wall in like this arch shape. So you're going to be on this side editing the wall, right? But your teammate is on the other side of the wall, or your friend is on the other side of the wall. And then when you edit it, your friend is going to be going up like this, right? But then you're also going to be going up like this, okay? And then once you're here, then you just start fighting, and this is like a really good way to practice 90s too. And like just building, and it's kind of like similar to in-game situations. Let me just wait for the structure to break. Okay. Oh, GG. That was a good one.
That was good, yeah.